Let's bring in Traci Brown. I'm really fascinated to have a chance, Des, for us to talk with her. She is a body language expert. And of course, the whole country is talking about the Nancy Guthrie disappearance. And let's just start off with your original thoughts. Now, you've seen the video that came out yesterday. You've seen the family releasing videos. Kind of give us your big picture take on your takeaways so far.
Well, here's the most interesting thing that I've seen was the video of this fellow that they detained yesterday. And when they asked him, so he showed a lot of stress, okay, as you would. So he's cracking his knuckles, he's wringing his hands, his gestures are big, like his elbows are away from his sides, right? So he's trying to make himself big, like meet the press dead on. And then they asked him, what was the exact question was?
Hold on one second. We have that clip. Let's just roll it.
Okay,
let's roll it. Here we go.
You were apprehended for questioning. How would you describe what happened to you?
Terrifying. Something I didn't do for something. I was being like, I felt like I was being kidnapped, bro, because they didn't tell me anything at the beginning.
Or were you the one who was pulled over in the traffic stop?
I was the one that was pulled over at the traffic stop.
Where was that?
Right here on by Chubasco.
Okay, and you were taken into custody at that point?
Yeah.
And you were
I was being detained.
Detained, okay.
I was detained the whole time.
What were they asking you about?
Where my whereabouts.
Okay.
Where did I work? Where was I and all that, but...
Are you ever up in Tucson?
Yeah, I work in Tucson.
What do you do?
GLS, deliver packages.
Okay, do you think you might have delivered a package to Nancy Guthrie's house?
I don't know, might have been a possibility, I don't know.
Yeah, do you ever deliver like Amazon packages or anything?
Well, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, so do you think you may have, did they indicate that you might have been on her property?
Nah.
You're not sure?
Nah, they just came up, they until right now, all I know is that they show my in-law a picture of somebody wearing a mask or something, and they supposedly look like my eyes.
Right, okay.
That's it. That's all I know.
All right, Traci, take it away. Your take.
Right. So it was the next little line he was about to say, and they asked him, how did they connect you to this? And he goes, I don't know, man. But he smiled really big. He goes, you have to ask them. And so that for me is a big red flag, because he follows it very closely after by saying, oh shoot, what was that quote? It was about that's all I can tell you, right? Which means either that's all he knows or that's all he's saying, right? And there's more to say. So just that little quick analysis of this tells me there's more to know here. And this wasn't a law enforcement interview. So they didn't ask, hey, did you do it? Do you know who did? Like, they didn't ask those direct questions. And he never said where he was. Like, there was a lot of times where he didn't finish his sentence, and they kind of cut him off, and they just let him fade away there.
Just because we have limited time, let me just jump in and ask. Let's talk about yesterday's video too. So we got your points on that one. The whole world's talking about the video that we're now showing. What was your take on the almost, I don't know if you want to say casual or laissez-faire or kind of laid back way the guy approached and then went down and picked up some plant material? Give us your take there.
All right. So this tells me that he has not been there before, because he did not realize that there was a doorbell camera, and he goes and he tries to get a handful of flowers to block the camera, which is just ridiculous. He's got a backpack full of stuff and he doesn't have tape in there. I mean, it's just unfathomable how unplanned this thing is. So we're not dealing with a pro here.
And that was the interesting part, right? Because he looks like he came prepared. I mean, he's got the mask, he's got the gloves, the backpack, he's got the gun in the holster as well. So in the video, we're going between the video and some of the images, the body language that you're picking up on that video, that tells you what about him, Traci? What specifically is he doing that triggers you to think something?
Well, in this kind of case, if he had a specific plan, he would walk tall and be focused into doing the mission. And instead, he's wandering around trying to figure it out. So that is another tell that just backs up the amateur hour that we're seeing here.
What about the flashlight in the mouth? To me, I think if I had one of those little flashlights, and who knows, I could go through my toolbox in the garage. Maybe I do have one. That seems like unusual. That seems like somebody who's very used to dealing with it. You're putting it in your mouth.
I had a question about that. Like, how big is the flashlight? It's really hard to hold hold a flashlight in your mouth for any length of time without feeling a little choked and, getting it to point the right way. So I had big questions about that. And I went, I'm big into the outdoors, and I was like, are there any like products that do this? I could not, for the life of me, come up with anything there. So very highly unusual is what I got from this one.
So as a body language expert, and you pick up on, things that people do, their gestures, whatever that is, what are some big gestures that are very troubling that might indicate that someone might be lying?
Oh, just in general, you look for discrepancies between the body language and the words. Okay, so you got to believe the body first, take the words with a grain of salt. So generally, this means yes, like nodding your head means yes, right? And shaking your head like this means no. So if someone said, and I'm not saying he did, but let's just say in general, if someone said, I would never do that, then you have a tell, right? And or if they said, you could ask me anything, then you have another tell right there. Like their body is telling you, because it takes a great deal of energy for our brain to run, and then for it to lie takes even more energy. And so these are the things, like our body's like, we can't do it, we'll give you the words, we won't give you the body language to go with it. And so those are just some of the things that we look for. Overall, though, you got to understand there's not just one tell for deception for everyone. You want to compare people to themselves, and if you just get good at one thing, you'll be able to see when someone may be trying to pull the wool over your eyes. And that is just looking for change, because our brain operates differently when deception is at hand and it's doing too much. It gets into what's called cognitive overload, and the body language goes wrong.
Yeah, interesting.
Anything from the various videos that the family has released? We did see Savannah that last time. Boy, was that heartfelt. Where she's like, we're in our hour of desperation, or how exactly she put it. And then there were the earlier videos where she was appearing with her brother and sister, and that was maybe when the tension was at the highest point. By the way, we've got about a minute and a half left, but any thoughts on the various videos?
Well, I think the big Savannah's, they're all very stressed. I think what's curious to most people is the brother. And I think he's the one closest to melting down. I think he's the strong, silent type. And watch him, he grabs his elbows. And when people grab their elbows, they are under threat. And I just don't think he has the, emotions aren't his jam. And so he's come across as, stoic, and people are making all these assumptions about him. They're not true. It's just his personality type.
What do you pick up from Savannah?
Oh, I think she is, we see those tight lips, and that's anger, and that's holding back. These things that we've seen her say, the first two videos were scripted, at least helped and scripted by the police for abduction recovery and things like that, like talking directly to people who do this. So the third one is the most genuine.
Okay. Well, lots of really interesting info there, Traci. We know you've spent a long time here reading people's body language, and that's why we wanted to have you on today. We really appreciate your time.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Traci.
Yeah.